Welcome to the fall into the end of the year book tag. Okay, we're still workshopping the title. Let me know what you think. This is a combination tag of questions that I came up with after the finally fall book tag and the end of the year book tag, because honestly, I couldn't come up with clear answers to either one of those sets of questions. So instead of those, I decided to do this amalgamation. It's 8 questions that are similar to both, but a little different, I hope. I'm Morgan. If this is the first time you have clicked here, I really hope that you enjoy this, and I would love to see your answers to them as well. Question 1. As fall, the air is starting to get cooler, what is a book that makes you feel cozy or into the fall vibes? This one required more thought than you would think that it would. I decided to go with like cozy mysteries or ones with food on the cover, ones set in fall. Kind of New Englandish fall, because here the sweater is a lie. It's like 80 something degrees Fahrenheit outside. Inside though it's nice, but it doesn't feel much like fall here. Then we have, as the seasons have changed, what is a book that has stuck with you all year long, either emotionally or just you continuously think about it? I have 2. There was 3, but I was like, I don't know. I mean, yes, but I don't know. We'll go with Blood Over Bridehaven by M.L. Wong first, because after reading it, it did for a good portion of my brain space time. The main character, what ended up happening with them, our other character, the people overall, the magic system of this world, how things functioned, and messed upness levels, all the things. There was so many aspects of this, like oppression, racism, lots of things. The other book, is it this book as much as like the series? I don't know. That's going to be Death's End though, or the 3-Body Problem trilogy. Is that, no, Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy. That's what it's called, by Cixin Liu. This one is the implications of it more than the exact things that happened in the book. Well, yes, the things that happened in the book, but the implications of why these things happened and the possibility of reality of that is happening as well. Because of course this is a sci-fi, and it starts loosely around our own time period, as you know, humanity has already sent the messages out into space saying, hey, we're here, and eventually finding that we're not alone, and the consequences of the we are not alone. Hopefully the cuts aren't weird as I'm putting books down, especially because I almost dropped them just then. Next question we have though is, the end of the year reset is almost here, so is there any books that you have been putting off for the whole year and you need to get to? So many, but putting off feels like the wrong word. Putting off makes it sound like I'm doing it on purpose, and I'm not really. But the one I decided to hold up for this though is The Will of the Many by James Islington. Or I could have held up The Shadows of What Was Lost, you know, the actual completed series. Those are been on the top of my list that I wanted to try to get to this year, and it just didn't happen. And will it? Probably not. Honestly, probably not. We're getting into the warm drinks and cozy sweaters time of year. What is an author that you always find yourself returning to for a cozy read or a comfort read? I actually had an immediate answer for this, but then I was like, is that still true? Because it's been a minute since I've read from them. And it's because the books are so easy kind of to read, and they're just normally a fun time, even if they're not like mind-blowing or whatever. And that's actually the Janet Evanovich books, the Stephanie Plum series. They're just always amusing to me. But it has been maybe a year since I've read any of them. Then you could also say a Sanderson book, because you always know what you're going to expect from them, even though they are chunkers, so it's a bit hard to be comforting. But if you're on a reread, you're back with your favorite characters. Or any series that you love that you do a reread of, maybe. I really should have come up with better answers for these, I feel like. 5 is, every season has its surprises. What is a book that has caught you off guard this year, either in a good way or a bad way? Dungeon Crawler Crawl. while I went into it with, pretty high hopes, I did not expect the first book to be that amazing and that fun. I really didn't. And as the series has continued, they've just continued to be fun, good books, and like progressing in ways and getting deeper and emotional in certain ways. And then another one over the summer when I was barely able to pick anything up, and I just picked something up expecting it to be a light read that I could pick up and put down whenever, would actually be Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. I was very intrigued with that book, and like it was just a very amusing read as well. So that made my day when I was picking that one up. The end of the year is creeping closer. What are 3 books that are on your must read before the end of December list? The first one that comes to mind, and is the only one that really is a definite title that comes to mind, is Shadows Upon Time by Christopher Ruocchio, the conclusion of the Sun Eater series. Because last year was the year of Sun Eater. We read all the Sun Eater that was out last year. Love this series. New favorite series for sure. And I am trying to already emotionally prepare myself to be devastated next month when this series comes to an end. The other one, as last year was the year of Sun Eater, this year seems to be the year of Dungeon Crawler Carl, as we have been working our way through the entire series this year. So I anticipate probably ending the series or catching up with the series by the end of December, which has 2 more books, so this could count. But maybe also, there was another one that I thought of, but I didn't write down, obviously, so that's the problem. As the world slows down in fall, what kind of atmosphere or setting do you love most in the books this time of year? Like spooky, cozy, nostalgic, those sorts of things. I would go with cozy spooky, because not super horror, even though we have been dipping our toes more and more, but just the cutesy witchy stuff almost, or ghost stuff, light urban witchy stuff, those sorts of vibes. That's what I like at this time of year mostly. Some gothic-y stuff, as long as it's not too historically fiction with that. I don't know how to say that properly and not maybe make some people mad. But that's what we're gonna go with. That's what I like to do. Then finally, as we're moving towards the new year, what is one reading goal or habit that you want to carry over and continue into 2026? This one is also hard, as I don't think I've picked up anything new that we have done consistently all year. I have liked, though, in the past 2 months only, I've been actually keeping track of how many pages I've read every day, sometimes remembering to actually make notes on what my reading experience was that day, to keep things good for when we want to do the review or do the monthly wrap-up. I would really like to be able to get back to doing books or series reviews next year. I actually have a few ideas of that. I want, like, which series in particular we should do actual dedicated series reviews like we did with Children of Time and kind of The Witcher, but not really The Witcher. Those are all 8 questions for the fall into the end of the year book tag. I did try to pick books that I've wanted to pick up or read this year, obviously, but you can answer them however you would like to. And if you would like to do this tag, all the questions will be linked in the description down below, or listed in the description down below. And I would love to know what your answers should be, either in the comments or on your own videos. And if you just want to let me know you were here, but you don't want to answer the questions, feel free to leave a fall-themed emoji, such as a pumpkin, or just the fall-colored leaves in the comments. I hope that you are having an amazing day, finding something great to read. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.